Hello YouTube! I'm Michaela, aka Michaela the Bookworm. So today, my little bookworms, book nerds, book dragons, whatever you want to be, I will be showing you a very biased, very my opinionated list of best to worst book to movie adaptations. Now, this will not be every single book to movie adaptation in the whole entire world because one, I've not read every single book that has become a movie, mainly because maybe, I don't know, it became a movie, or I just haven't felt the urge to, or maybe I've read the book but I haven't watched the movie yet, or either or. On this list I only have like 13, 12, maybe 14 of them, of the ones I've seen. That's not every single book to movie adaptation I've even seen myself, and of course there's gonna be some TV series like The Vampire Diaries and Secret Circle that I did not put on there because I'm trying to focus more on like movies. There will be one TV series though on there, and it's only gonna be slightly mentioned, but no, it is not Pretty Little Liars, mainly because I only read like the first two books and I feel like I don't have enough right to say that this is a terrible adaptation because I kind of love the TV series compared to the two books I read. So yeah, I guess it's a little biased opinion. I don't know. I'm gonna start now because I'm just rambling. The first book to movie adaptation that I think is the best, again completely biased, is Fault in Our Stars, because I felt as I was watching it, I felt like, you know, I could hear lines in the movie that I read directly from the book. I never really got mad at the movie. Like, I came out there like, of course, crying, because you know, we all know how that ends, and if you don't, it's been like, what, 3 years? Why don't you know this yet? My mom knew it and she never even read the book or saw the movie. I don't know, I was never like, oh, you know, this didn't happen in the book, or, you know, they didn't put this in it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And John Green's happy how it turned out, and like, none of my friends hate it. Like, I've not met one person who said, oh, this is a terrible book to movie adaptation. So to be honest, I think it's one of the best I've ever seen. 5 out of 5 stars. The next one I feel is Divergent, because I felt like as I was going through it and watching it, I was really pleasantly happy. My friend and I would talk like, oh yeah, they like, so far it's really, really good. And like, we point out like small things, like they didn't have like Parents' Day or whatever it's called. They didn't have like the chocolate cake. They didn't have the butter knife in the eye. But I mean, all in all, they kept really close to the book, and I really enjoyed it until the very end, where I felt like they changed a lot of things that weren't in the book. But I mean, other than that, it was pretty good. I mean, my friend and I, again, we walked out happy. We walked out giving it like 4 out of 5 stars. We liked the cast members. We liked how it was written, and just 2 okays. That's what I'm going to give it. The third one is the Harry Potter series and all, because yes, they did change it and take stuff out and put stuff in. I mean, some of the things that Neville did in the movie were Dobby in the book, and I know that's to like make Neville's character more relevant, but I mean, again, they're great movies and they're great books, and everyone who's seen the movies love the books. And I mean, like, there's very few, if there's any Harry Potter fans, who hate every single one of the movies. Yes, there are some that are kind of very veering off from the books, but they're still good movies all in all, and they are, again, 5 out of 5, just because they're very biased, and I love the books and I love the movies, and I'd never hate on Harry Potter, maybe except for the whole, there's no, like, you know, a Marauders. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I can never pronounce it for, like, the longest time, so let's hope I pronounce Marauders. I think that's how you pronounce it. Marauders. I really want like a book about them. So I see all these canons on Tumblr and I just love them so much. The next one is The Hunger Games, especially Catching Fire. Yes, all the books I felt, all the movies I felt were very true to the book, and like, oh, like all together. But I feel like Catching Fire was the most true and the most like best adaptation out of the series. And again, I'd give probably the series about like a 4 out of 5, but Catching Fire by itself like a 5 out of 5. Even Hunger Games was kind of a 5 out of 5. I felt that was very true to the novel as well. The fifth one is one maybe you haven't really heard of. You might have. The original movie was probably, for a lot of us, were old enough to be allowed to watch it, and the newer one was on LMN, you know, Lifetime Movie Network, and maybe some of you don't have that channel, but just probably go to a movie store online and find this, and it is Flowers in the Attic. Flowers in the Attic is a very odd story. It has very controversial subjects. Literally everything is very controversial and probably not talked about, and while the original movie that went to theaters was completely off base and completely changed the ending, the LMN one made me and my mom and I very happy with how it went and how like stay true to the novel. And if you ever want to see a Flowers in the Attic movie, watch the LMN ones because they stay more true to the novel compared to the movie one, and the actors are a whole lot cuter. The one who plays the older brother is actually in Finding Carter, fun fact. The sixth one, I'm probably gonna get either a lot of like, woo, yeah, or a lot of, ooh, why you read that, but 50 Shades of Grey. I felt the movie did stay true to the book, again, like all the others, and I'd give this one like a 4 out of 5. I love what they got for the actors. Jamie Dornan is amazing. He's in a Netflix series, I think it's Netflix, called The Fall, and Once Upon a Time for the first season, and I don't know, I just really, really like him, and I like how he portrayed the character, and I love Dakota Johnson. I feel like she portrayed Anna perfectly, and I can't wait for the next one. The seventh one is Twilight. While I feel like the first movie out of that series did like the least justice to the franchise as a whole, I feel like it did stay true to the book. It just took some things out, which I understand were kind of like, this doesn't really need to be in the movie to be important, and so I understood why they took them out. They didn't really add anything, so I'd give it like a good 4 out of 5. I mean, it was a good, okay movie. Probably not the best, it wasn't the best in the franchise, but it did stay true to the book as good as it can in the time slot that it was allowed. The eighth one, almost done guys, promise, is The Great Gatsby. Now this isn't like, I don't even know if it was like the 70s, 80s, 90s, somewhere in those like 30 years, they did one, and it's on Netflix, and it is awful. You may like it, and if you do, go you! Because I know a lot of people don't like the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, and that's the one I like personally. And I know it kind of has like a more modern, more extravagant type of like touch to it, kind of like a Tim Burton-y touch. Tim Burton-y like touch to it. And I just feel like it's more colorful, it's more vibrant, and while most of the lines in the movie are directly from the novel, and they did stay true to it. I mean, they maybe over-exaggerated things. Might have been the only difference in it, and some of the music was more modern, if not all of the music. But Leo, he did a great job at portraying Jay Gatsby, and I felt like, I love the whole cast, personally. I give this a good 3 out of 5. The movie is amazing. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it, so yeah. Number 9, we're getting down to the bad one, guys, is The Maze Runner. Now, I do feel like the movie was close to the novel, and the movie was a great movie in general. I just felt kind of confused as I was watching it. Like, I felt like I needed to go back and reread the book, even though I read it, like, not even a month before the movie came out. So that's probably why I was going to get, like, a 3 out of 5, and why that's a number 9 on the list. Another book-to-movie adaptation that probably wasn't the best is Beautiful Creatures. I don't know, I was seeing the movies, and I just felt like this is not it. A lot was changed, a lot was taken out. They, like, skipped, just, like, completely, like, jumped over hoops, and those hoops needed to be talked about. They needed to be hula hooped, but they didn't hula hoop them. They just set them on fire. They just didn't talk about them, and then they, like, lifted up the hula hoop and turned it into a bike. That was the Beautiful Creatures. Next one is Mortal Instruments, and this is the one I will be talking about the TV series and the movie about, because the movie, while it was staying true to the novel during the beginning, yes, they sped it up, and I felt kind of like rushed, it still stayed true to the book until the very end, where Valentine just screwed it all up. The very ending, like, I felt like the last half hour was completely not true to the novel. I don't feel like Valentine was a good Valentine. I mean, did you see the hair? Like, no. And I just felt like they rushed everything. Like, they gave Clary her special gift in the first book, or movie, when she should have got later on, and I didn't like it when I came out. I was just like, I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. I probably don't want to see it again. Sometimes I do feel like seeing it again when I'm in, like, the Mortal Instruments mood, but it's not one of those, like, oh, I love it, just like Harry Potter, or Fault in Our Stars, or Hunger Games. The TV series, though, I don't know which I like better or worse, because I felt like the TV series is a little on the cheesy side because it is on ABC Family and they're known for their cheesiness, but the acting's not like up to par like a lot of the acting in TV shows are nowadays. I felt like if CW took it, it would have been better. It wouldn't have been as like teenagey. It feels like this show could be like young adult, middle 20-year-old type of show, but they kind of made it like a pre-teen, early teens. The next novel to movie adaptation is Big Fish. You might not a lot of people have heard of Big Fish. I read it during my film to literature class, and I love this novel. It never really gives you descriptions. It never really gives you ages. It's very vague, but it's also very detailed, and it's just all these little stories about this guy telling these stories to his son, and they're just really, really well done. In the movie, it's just not how you pictured it. You didn't picture the main character as they did. You didn't picture the guy, the father, to look like he did. We didn't picture a lot of things that happened. While many of the stories did stay true, they did change a lot of the stories and take them out of the chronicle order in the book and put them somewhere else in the movie where they don't belong. And yeah, but I mean, no movie to adaptation from a book is as terrible as Percy Jackson. Do I even need to explain how awful this movie is? It is nothing like the novel. Nothing. The names, yes. The gods, yes. Camp, yes. Nothing else. Nothing else is the same. Not how he found out. Not how everyone else found out. Not the characters' descriptions. Not the characters' age. Not the mission. None of it. None of it is right, and I don't like it. And then I can't even. I will go into a 10-minute rant. So I need to end it here before I go on with this rant and like just turn this into a Percy Jackson movie hate video. So as you can tell, that was a pretty short list of book to movie adaptations, because like I said earlier in the video, there is a lot out there because Hollywood has gone to remaking 80s movies, horror movies from the 80s, or, you know, taking books or TV series and turning them into movies because they're running out of ideas and they're going to the authors who will get very little credit, especially in the TV show world. But yeah, that was my second video. I really hope you liked it, and tell me in the comments below what your least favorite book to movie adaptation is and your favorite book to movie adaptation is. And if you want, you can like and subscribe. If you don't, well then, see you later, partner.